This talk is about two new kinds of plots of mutualistic networks. I will describe an ongoing work that is about to publish the first release of software that implements these visualizations. Mutualism is a kind of ecological interaction that results beneficial for all involved species. Mutualistic communities are modeled as networks where each link represents the benefit of the existence of one species for the other. Mutualistic networks are bipartite, weighted, and directed. The primary choice to plot a bipartite network of any kind is the simple bipartite graph. Nodes of each guild are distributed along two parallel lines, and links represent interaction, affiliation, or biotic effect depending on the nature of the network. Here I show two examples. On the left side a nice homework of the Indiana University Visualization MOOC, and on the right a disaster. The bipartite plot is pervasive in the literature of mutualistic networks. Despite its simplicity, it is quite flexible. Playing with colors, sizes, shapes, and order, it may produce amazing results. The bipartite graph shows some properties of mutualism. On the left side we have a weighted bipartite plot. The width of each link is proportional to the interaction strength. On the right, a typical unweighted simplification, showing a clear pattern of nestedness. There is a core of very interconnected species called generalists, and specialists are tied to that core but not between them. But the bipartite plot fails when the number of species grows. The plot of a mid-size mutualist network with 100 species looks like a hairball. This is the reason why you can't find plots of big mutualistic communities in the literature. These are three examples are taken from scientific journals. I have not included the citation because I do not want to be critical with the authors. The problem is the plot itself. The interaction matrix is the other typical visualization of mutualism. The relationship between both kinds is clearly explained in this naif and didactic example published in Nature. In the interaction matrix, guilds are arranged by rows and columns. If both species are linked, the box is filled, otherwise is empty. Interaction matrices are very useful to detect nestedness or modularity, topological features in the analysis of this biological interaction. The interaction matrix has the same problem than the bipartite plot. It becomes messy when the size grows. These two examples were depicted by me, with data of two real networks downloaded from the Web of Life. The upper one is easy to follow, while the lower is just a bunch of dots that show a diffuse pattern of nestedness. We are not the first ones to realize these shortcomings. A possible solution is using a conventional network graph. On the left, an example of mutualism as conventional networks. Notice the different shapes and how they are rather messy when the number of nodes grows above 20. On the right, two plots of the Web of Life site. It is almost impossible to grasp any detail. This visualization is not suitable for mutualism. Oh, let's face it. We need new tools, and we had to develop them despite our lack of experience in this field. If you want something new, you have to look in unusual places. We realized some time ago the power of K-chord decomposition in the analysis of mutualism. K-chord, to say so, discovers the onion-like structure of networks, and this reminds us nestedness. This technique has been successfully applied in other fields of network science, for instance to reduce information when plotting very big networks. Instead of diving in the formal details, I will show you how it works with the application of the most popular algorithm to a simple, fictional network. First we prune the links of those nodes that have only one link. Notice that this procedure is recursive. Those nodes that have become isolated are the one shell, the operation to identify two shell, and finally three shell. This example was very simple. Huge networks may have high shell numbers. We are lucky because mutualistic networks are under 1000 nodes, and the highest core number we have found is 11. K structure to define distance to the innermost core and importance of each node. We have defined two new magnitudes, K radius and K degree. K radius is the average distance from one node to each of the nodes of the innermost core of the opposite guild. Here we have an the K degree of one node is the sum of the inverse of K radius to each node linked to it. The higher the number of connections and the closer those nodes are to the innermost core, the higher the K degree. Now we have a bunch of information about the network, shell number, K radius, K. We have not been able to reduce all in one simple graph, so we have developed two instead. The polar plot is inspired in the fingerprint plot developed for huge networks. Here, nodes are placed in rings for each shell and colored according to their degree. This plot mutualism because its purpose is quite different, reducing the amount of information. So, the polar plot shares the radial disposition and the coloring according to the shell, but differs otherwise. All nodes are depicted. As the network is bipartite, we split the plane in two. Node shapes underline these separation. The center of the node is located at K radius of the center. Innermost nodes are the most central ones. Angle is assigned by the algorithm to reduce node overlapping. Size is proportional to the K degree presented. You may choose to depict node labels of most and least central nodes. Finally, to enrich the plot, 3 histograms are added below, with the distribution of the K magnitudes. The main application of polar plot is to compare different networks. Here we have 3 plots in decreasing order of nestedness. The highly nested network is hierarchical, with few very dominant nodes, while the weakly nested one is more democratic. The polar plot is nice and useful, but it does not show the internal details. Ultimate visualization of mutualism. We tried hard with several failures, until we arrived to a Babylonian solution. I introduce you the ziggurat plot. Space is organized according to K shells with the innermost core on the left. Species by K degree and K radius. One shell species tied to the same higher shell species are grouped. The almond shape of the inner space makes possible linking any species without overcrossing the ziggurat boxes. The ziggurat plot shows how different and the ziggurat plot has many applications. I will show just one, how the structure changes when the network loses some species. This is the ziggurat plot of a plant pollinator with 6 K shells. It is quite asymmetrical and with few species in shells. Plant species, the one with highest degree and another 5 at random. Notice how the structure has changed in a very dramatic way. Now the innermost core is number 4, and the network is more symmetrical. Species that were before inside inner cores are moved to core 1. This talk is about 2 new kinds of plots of mutualistic networks.